Oh, there we go.
Hi, everybody.
Finally, we have to wait 20 minutes just to go. No, kidding.
I'm going to play our opening video that I haven't played in a very long time.
Hmm.
Welcome to the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D. We are not your average paranormal or metaphysical podcast. By bringing you a variety of guests weekly, we offer diversity. We challenge you to expand your mind and your horizons, ponder new questions and realities beyond the norm, new ways to communicate with the other side and beyond. Near-death, dream interpreters, psychics, all kinds of healers, Reiki masters, regressionists, animal communication, sound therapy, mental health, extraterrestrials, UFO, conspiracy theories, fairy and folklore, urban legends, angels and demons, occult, and of course ghosts and ghost hunting. That's just a few examples. We want you to ask questions to us and to our guests, but moreover, ask yourselves questions. Use your mind and your imagination to seek your own truth. We strive to help everyone, but not everyone is in need of the same type of assistance, hence the variety of guests. One show may not work for you, but the next one may, and so on. And we pray that our show will at least help one person, and if so, we say our job is done. By the way, if our show has helped you, be it through us, our oracle card reading shows, or our many wonderful guests, then please share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we thank you for all of your support. And now, enjoy the show, and welcome to the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D.
Yay. I missed that one. That's so nice. I like that one.
I know. I totally forgot all about it because I usually make them for our guests, but we have been so very busy here and running around doing all kinds of events and everything. And we just did our last one for the year, so
That's it. Now we get into the Christmas decorating. Well, you do. I don't. Sit here and watch.
Gotta do a Thanksgiving dinner in the middle there too.
Oh, that's true.
I had to get rid of the Halloween, start putting out a little bit of fall for Thanksgiving, and then get into Christmas.
I love the skeleton with the Santa hat. Sorry.
Oh, that's just the beginning.
That's good lordy.
It's funny. Follow me and you'll see. Tonight, excuse me, I have had for 3 weeks this lingering god-awful cold, and it destroys my voice, and I'm going to do my best. But tonight, I want to read Master Nick's bio, and it's a pretty long one, so hang in there with me, and please stay for this show because trust me, it's worth it. Master Nick Eagle is a yogi and a healer who, with his long hair and beard, looks the part, but he is far from the mold of a quiet Buddhist or Hindu guru. Though he operates in advanced states that allow healing and answers and can enter states of samadhi, he is a warrior who teaches that if you feed darkness, you become it. So he fights the self-delusional darkness that prevents people from living up to their highest potential and experiencing the divinity within themselves. His approach to helping people awaken is a rigorous adherence to commitment to his life's work and gift to the world, the Enlightenment Protocol, and the principles of his book, which we are talking about tonight, the Golden Laws of Enlightenment. It is a demanding fealty to one's highest self, resisting the temptation to believe or indulge in anything that does not serve. Possessing a PhD in philosophy, he is a certified yogi and meditation teacher, Reiki and Kundalini master, as well as a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt with world titles. Nick also prepares people to work with enlightened plants, facilitates ceremonies, and teaches people how to be spiritual warriors at his Eagle Vortex Sanctuary in Sedona, Arizona. Nick's attainment as a master of himself is the result of a long journey that he has made from someone who was filled with self-doubt and low self-esteem. To conquer his demons, he vowed to operate at the highest levels and say yes to every stage that presented itself. Mixed martial arts, stripping, acting and improv classes, stand-up comedy, performing his music and television shows to find himself surrounded by darkness everywhere he went. A sudden and unexpected Kundalini awakening, the life energy force surging up through him into the nirvana state of oneness, fully cracked open the persona and ultimately led him to a new way of living that is in service to humanity and divinity. I know that's a lot, and he is very unique.
Oh, yeah.
And we welcome you, Master Nick. You know, you are definitely not. I've watched many of your Instagram snippets. What do you call them? Reels. And people think of a yogi as this, and very calm and cool and collected. And that is not you.
I became a warrior first. Honored to be here.
Yeah,
Thank you for being here.
I really appreciate that. Now you talk about, and I also have, I'm going to put this up here. This is the link to his website right there. So you can use that QR code anytime during the show and go right to his webpage, which is really nicely done too. You have a lot on your
pretty.
website.
I like it.
Yes, very, very nice. Now you talk about your awakenings. Okay, so just let's talk about when your first awakening really happened. Like, what was it? What led up to you even going down this path anyway? Like, I know I just read a bunch of things, but just explain to me your headspace.
In 2005 was my first awakening. I didn't know what awakenings were when it happened. I suffered greatly as a child, my entire childhood. Very young parents who had very little guidance, definitely didn't teach me confidence, had no idea of what we are, what we're capable of. As most of us grow up, we're taught that people are talented and gifted and born special. We're not born equal, and we're ingrained with all these excuses to and not taught our power, not taught that if we put in effort, we can become special and overcome and heal. And the biggest thing with the confidence was when I saw people, I would know I could do that. I always knew, we all know deep down that we are one and we're connected. We want to pretend we're special and the stars control things and we're not, it's not all choices. But when you look at people and you see them do something or act a certain way, you know that could be you if you lived those experiences. And I always saw that with the confidence. So this first awakening was the first time I became face to face with God, your higher self, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it. And I lived in fear and panic my entire life. Most people, when they get a taste, when they have their first awakening, you know, they don't have a full chakra Kundalini awakening. They get a little taste of it, or they bring the energy up to their heart center and they start feeling this oneness and this openness. But there's still some fear there that holds them back from really walking through the door and experiencing true repentance and taking responsibility for their creation and everything that they bring to the world. Because you have to give up all the excuses, the parents, the trauma, all of the above. You have to own all this. And I was sick of the fear and I was ready. And I ran through that door. I didn't have, as I teach people, the healing process doesn't have to take a long time. It doesn't have to be so hard. If you have the right guide, they're going to set you up to succeed. They're gonna guide you to the light. And then when they take you to the light, it's going to be your choice. But they're going to teach you that you're choosing fear and darkness, or you're choosing repentance and taking responsibility for everything. And I had a true awakening of experience of true repentance, and I never had a dark night of the soul. It's not something that we have to have. If you have the right guide, nobody's going to have that. One day, nobody's going to have these dark nights of the soul. That's out there. You don't have to. And people comment all the time on social media, spiritual awakening is anxiety and panic. And no, you're choosing fear. It shouldn't be. I know there's very little guidance out there, but if with proper preparation, taking immaculate care of this, all the above, you shouldn't have to experience that. And yes, I vowed to do everything I can to operate at the highest levels and do everything I can which I knew would play a part in me becoming confident, everything I could to be confident as well, and then step on every stage that presents itself. And that was the the beginning.
Cool. Can you hold up your book? So this is the book that we're talking about, The Golden Laws of Enlightenment. Now, going through this book, now you talk about everything. You are, like you say, you are an open book. You lay everything out there. Now, this is not, look, I have lots of books. All right, this is not your typical book. Not at all. Okay. You are not like a lot of these will say the same thing. Different wording, same thing. You have to do this. You have to go through that. You have to do this. You have to do that. I like very much in your book that you said, okay, well, I did this, but I don't feel like I need to do this. So you don't. I skipped this part. I don't need this part. I'm not doing that part. I don't feel that's necessary for this. So you're not. But you're doing the other things. You know what I mean? You've gotten your enlightenment. You're doing the right things. You're going through all these phases and these steps. And you're up there. Your vibration is up there. You're doing wonderful things. So you don't have to be 100% tailored like every other yogi,
healer, whatever. Yeah.
Healer, right. Yeah. Like Reiki master, like all these things, you check every box, check the box that you need. If you need to then revisit later on, maybe you will do those steps, or maybe you will feel like that might be necessary, or you wouldn't begrudge someone doing those steps, correct?
Well, there are definitely boxes that need to be checked, and there are laws.
Oh, yes,
but
yes.
Most people don't check the right boxes. Few people put truth above all and set out to leave behind this fear. They want to keep it. They think it protects them. They think it's beneficial in some way. And the biggest thing with my first book,
excuse me,
after this awakening happened, I was being called more and more to help people, and I was in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I was a personal trainer and helping people with health and wellness. And
first book right there.
Yeah, and once I started gaining confidence, I put myself out there as a confidence coach at the time. I was helping people with their anxiety and to overcome. And they started coming to me with more problems, depression, addiction. And it really inspired me to find real answers. And I was reading every self-help book out there. I was doing the research. I didn't want to give false information. That's too many people pretend that they're ready to teach, and nobody's malicious in this world, but there's a lot of pretenders that want to teach and they want to help people, but they do it before they're ready. When you're doing that, you're just adding to the darkness. You're comforting and feeding darkness. You're becoming it, and you're just making this place darker. Yeah, you have to go to the mountains first. You have to put in the work. You have to battle your demons. You have to take immaculate care of yourself and go to the mountains. And I was reading all these self-help books, and most books are written to sell. So they tell and get and make money and gain followers. So they tell you what you want to hear and not what you need to hear. What you need to hear is you need to take better care of yourself, take responsibility, and put in more effort. No, you don't gain followers saying these things. It's little people are appreciating now. We're awakening, so there's more appreciation for such words now. But when that first book came out, nobody wanted to hear it, and it's been when you put truth above all and you don't cater to darkness, you lose a lot of people. So few decide to be ready because of what has been built before. So I read all the self-help books out there. I wasn't finding any truth. I decided to go to the mountains and discover truth. I traveled the world. I spent over 100 hours on planes and trains writing my book, backpacked Eastern Europe, and I found truth and put this book together. And at the time, I was more of the motivator. So it's 100 kicks in the ass, a guide to gaining confidence, reach your full potential. And little did we know that's the teachings in that book led me to my first full chakra Kundalini awakening, which was in about 19, where I was shown all these yoga practices with no prior training. I was shown about 10 different ancient kriyas. everything from sitting lotus. First time I did prayer position, holotropic breathing, tongue to the roof of the mouth, eyes to the middle of the forehead, squeezes, the lower squeezes, the breathing, all of the above, and shaking. And I was shaking violently when I had these really intense Kundalini awakenings. And I had no idea what happened. I looked at my friend after it happened. I'm like, what was that? He's like, I think you just had a Kundalini awakening. I'm like, what's that? I didn't even know what it was.
Wow.
Didn't make any sense.
Right. That's pretty intense. I mean, that really is. I mean, to go through it, like people try to do that, like they know what it is and they know that they're going after it and still don't get it. And then you get it and you don't even know what it is. That's hilarious.
Yeah, monks, Buddhist monks and masters spend lifetimes attempting to achieve these states. And I did a couple yoga classes and I never sat lotus for more than 15 seconds because it hurt my legs and I didn't understand the benefits. You know, I don't know of another yogi or guru out there who has been shown these through meditation like me. I was hoping to meet more. I've still yet to discover one. I don't know of any.
Maybe it's because you're supposed to be the teacher.
We've had, right?
What's that?
Maybe it's because you're supposed to be the teacher.
Oh, I'm definitely supposed to be the teacher now, but I'm wanting to find more.
Of course. Well, that's the point. Yeah, you're like go all the time.
Mm.
You know,
There's
you even
8 billion people on this planet. What do you mean? What's the point? I need some help.
No,
Come on.
that is the point. You need to go. But
Nick, I have a question for you. Put it in the chat room so I could remember it. How did you become a confidence coach? You said you started off as a confidence coach. How did you have to study for that?
I was beginning to understand the importance of it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew deep down, like from before, that's when I vowed to operate at the highest levels, to become confident. I knew that it was important. It's something that we had to do. I didn't know why. I had no idea I was going to end up with a man bun and be on this spiritual journey. I had no plans of being spiritual when developing my confidence. I want to be confident. I want to be a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt world champion. That's what I wanted. I never planned on being spiritual. But then my master's thesis, I set out to prove the importance of confidence in the spiritual journey, and I ended up titling it, Mastering Confidence is the Beginning of the Spiritual Journey. It really is. You have to learn what we are, and you have to connect. Being spiritual can be interpreted many ways, but being spiritual is, in all these spiritual practices, they're doing whatever you can to connect. That's the goal, to connect, to go to places where you can heal and where you can find answers. That's pretty much what the point of what I take from being spiritual is. And you have to, and that fear has to be gone. You have to learn what this is. You have to own what this is to connect to God, spirit source again, to get these answers and heal. And you can't do that with fear. Fear is just a distraction. You're running away when if you do these practices, become face and face, and you decide to continue to create this fear. It's not something that we hold inside of us. It's a continual creation that we can stop creating at any time. It wasn't put in us. And if you decide to stop creating that fear, then special things are going to happen.
Yeah, fear is definitely a taught thing. It's good to have a good healthy fear of things that can harm you,
Nope.
but not.
Let's dig into that.
Go ahead, because
fear is healthy.
You're not going to go walk into fire.
That's you making smart decisions and keeping yourself safe. That has nothing to do with fear. The fear is actually preventing you from being safe and making calculations. If you're scared, if you're crossing the street and there's cars and you're scared and freaking out, you're going to get hit by a car. The fear isn't doing anything. If the fear is gone and now you're just on point and you're calculated, then you can navigate through the cars and not get hit. Fear is not healthy in any way. Saying that.
So when people have, like, for lack of a better word, fears of certain things like spiders, I won't say who, snakes, not me. I like both of them. They have fears. They think, for whatever reason, they think that this snake, this spider, this animal, this time will hurt them. How can they get past that fear section of something like that they had since they have no idea what.
Great synchronicity here. 3 days ago, I released a fear test video saying you need to make it through the end of this and conquer the fear of just looking at something or thinking about it and being scared. You have to start there. So they found the world's largest spider web, and I did put a video and pictures of that, and encourage people to, you know, make it to the end to look at all these pictures and think and ask themselves where it comes from. Again, if you see a spider and you get scared and you panic, you're not making good decisions, you know. And these spiders, they don't attack you, they don't run at you and bite you and eat you. And people love dogs, but they're scared of spiders. The dog's 1,000 times bigger. The bite from the dog it could kill you, unlike the spider. They're both fluffy. Tarantulas are fluffy and beautiful. They have 4 more legs. They're cuter in some ways. I love tarantulas, but we got to ask ourselves where this comes from, and this fear of spiders. It's not ingrained in you. It's a decision. You know, when you spend your life in just about every situation where there's a spider and you're with somebody and they panic and freak out, and your parents panicked and freaked out, you've probably seen 50 movies where people see spiders and panic and freak out. It's just this programming. It's not distilled in you. Your ancestors didn't fight big spiders, or your mom and dad weren't. You're not scared of them because your mom and dad were. A beautiful video that I watched recently. Oh, it's so good. And it's so empowering. It really makes you think. They put a bunch of babies on the middle of the floor, and they put these giant snakes, obviously none with fangs or poisonous, but I mean, they're all calm, you know, and they put the babies on the floor with all these giant snakes, and the snakes are slithering over them, and the kids are touching them. There's absolutely no fear there. It's such a beautiful thing, and lessons. And the parents are in the other room freaking out. It's going to eat them. And obviously nothing happened.
Yeah, well, I can see that.
Okay, this is Tom put up a good thing here. He's not considering personal experiences. Well, people have gotten bitten by poisonous spiders and have, you know, had very bad reactions. You know, I mean, those things do exist in the world. People have definitely gotten mauled by dogs and bears and whatever, and you know, so respect nature. I mean, that's one thing you should know, your boundaries and your limits. The spiders, I have an issue.
She slept with a vacuum because she couldn't find where the spider went. So
there was and I realized it was something was trying to get me a message, okay, because spiders bring messages, and there was like all these different spiders in a week span of time, and all different kinds were like crawling up to me, crawling onto my arm, coming down in front of me, and then one crawled up as I was sleeping, and it crawled up onto my arm, and I butt jumped out of bed, like, because I didn't know what it was, and I was standing. I mean, I just went from laying to standing.
Yeah, that's gonna get you bit though, freaking out and moving your arm quick or like landing on it. That's
but that's what you know. Your reaction is.
But in that moment, she wasn't even thinking about it.
I was sleeping, you know, and then I just felt something, and of course I brush and jump, you know, because I don't know what it is. So fear of the unknown, you know, and that's like the biggest fear on the planet, of the unknown, and that again is instilled in us through everything, through media, social media, television, our parents, you know, our grandparents, you know, don't do that, you know, and I agree with you on that point, because if we lived fear bound, no one would do a bloody thing. You know, nothing would get done on this planet. There would be no breakthroughs. There would be no new experimental buildings wouldn't exist. I mean, come on, you know, it's everything. You have to overcome and conquer these fears for progress.
Yep.
You know,
fear is the lowest vibration. It causes much destruction. It's very harmful for all involved. When you're carrying fear around, you're not just harming you, you're harming everybody, you know, you come in contact with as well. And yes, the fear of the unknown is one of the greatest fears that we really need to conquer, because that's most of the world. Their fears, more than anything, people fear to learn their power, because then they have to repent and admit that they have it. People want to take the easy way out and blame trauma and mental disorders and all of the above. They want anything that takes our power.
Yeah.
I know.
And we shouldn't fear our power. It's not your fault. Nobody's mad at you if you haven't had a guide, if you haven't been taught this. You won't know. You need
guidance.
If you understand something, you can't be upset with it. And that's for humans too. I'm not upset with anybody anymore. My parents I haven't been with for a long time. They had me when I was young, and I suffered because they had me at a young age. I was never really upset with them for it. When I was young, I hated being in poverty, and being broke, and I was kind of upset with them. But I mean, that's foolish too. But the fear of your power.
But now you were in Los Angeles, and you were doing all these things. You were making money. You were doing a lot of many things. I mean, you were acting, you were improv, stripping, you were comedy, like you were doing all these things. That's definitely making money. Now you chose to leave all these things and go do what you're doing now. So where do you live? Where do you reside? Do you live at the ranch? I grew
up in Wisconsin. I was on welfare and food stamps through high school. And actually, when I was 15, this was one of the cases of that kind of pushed me to become confident. When I was 15, I had a 16-year-old friend who was stripping. At the time, I couldn't talk to girls, much less dance with a girl, much less take my clothes off in front of a girl and dance. So I thought this was the most courageous thing a man could do. And when I vowed to get on every stage that presents itself, that was always in my back of my head. I'm like, I got to do this someday. I have to do this. And I had an opportunity. And that was after I joined the Air Force for the GI Bill, finished up schooling, and I moved to LA to pursue entertainment. And that is where I did it. And I went for it. I was stripping and going to acting classes during the week and improv and auditioning around the town. I knew that was something that I had to do one day. And I was very successful. I made a lot of money. I actually had a stripping agency that booked male and females for bachelor and bachelorette parties. And I expanded it I learned website SEO and developed some websites, and I expanded to San Diego, Orange County, LA. I think I went San Francisco, Hawaii, and Dallas. And I was continuing to expand that. And I made a lot of success.
You also did talks on the head speaker for pickup lines for women. Like, what was that?
That's right. That was a while ago. That was in LA. After I did a TV show, I got asked to speak at the World Pickup Artist Summit. That's what it was. And I did that a little bit, and I helped some guys, and it was pretty dark. It was pretty dark. Most of the people there were trying to trick women into sleeping with them, and that was the win. So it was. I brought a lot of light to it. I was teaching guys confidence and to not lie to them, and there are no failures. If you ever step up to the plate and strike out, that's not a failure. You learn something and you move from that. So I'm glad I got to bring my energy to that community. Let me just say that it was pretty dark. Yeah.
I think that one of the things just so far, what you bring forward is that any dream that you have, you work your way towards it and you do accomplish it. And you did pretty well with all the dreams that you had. And then you chose to step away from it. You're showing people that you can chase the dreams, no matter how long it takes you, no matter what detours, paths that you end up going on.
Yeah, I conquered all my demons. I jumped on every stage, and after that awakening, though, I wasn't that lost. I was very lost prior to the first awakening in '05. But after that, I was seeking truth, and I was seeking to leave behind the fear. But I was surrounded by darkness everywhere I went. I wanted to go to Hollywood to do that, and do the improv and acting and act and get in front of the cameras and, really test myself and do the TV shows and movies and everything. But yeah, I was just surrounded by darkness everywhere I went. I did my TV show that took me to Las Vegas as well. So I'm in the middle of all the darkness, but I mean, it was a great test. And yeah, at the top of all of it, after I had a successful show and I signed with another agency, and I remember one day, I had one big day that was going to set my life one or two ways after my first show. And I signed with one of the top talent companies in LA, and they wanted me to start a new show right away. I was going to go meet with multiple producers. It sounded like I was pretty much guaranteed one, especially since I developed this confidence. I have experience on a successful show already. I sold myself to them. They loved me, and they were really pushing me on these other producers. I would have probably had another show. They set me up to meet with the first producers, and part of me wanted to go back and do some more scripted TV and movies. I really perfected my acting craft too when I did all these classes and everything, but I did a reality show that didn't really allow me to show the skills that I had, even though it did, but you think it's real and I'm really acting the whole time. But I was driving to meet with these producers. I hit the California border and I pulled over, and I did a little meditation, and I went deep inside my soul, and I decided that isn't what I wanted. And I left behind, and this is after I would have gotten paid a lot of money. I would have had another TV show, huge, talking really big things. And I knew that wasn't my path. I didn't know at the time what my path was. I thought I was at the top of everything in Las Vegas, performing my music at the biggest clubs and on the biggest show shot there. And I knew that there was more. And I said no to that. And I had, I had to leave it all behind.
Everything you did, you had to do to get you to where you are today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened through all of it, because I did have to go out and test myself. I couldn't have just gone to the mountains right away. Everything happened for a reason. It's, I know how ridiculous and hard to believe that this rapping guy on this reality TV show had this Kundalini awakening. Believe me, I know, but if you learn the story, it makes a little bit more sense why this happened to me, and because of how important confidence was. And that's what I was on the goal of. That was my goal. So, and operating at the highest levels.
Yeah. That's everything that you needed to do to get there. And I admire that, I to do the things that I did. Yeah, it's all in there. And she did all the things that she needed to do to get to where she is. We all have, similar stories or hardships or whatever's, I was on my own basically from 15, you know what I mean? I built all my own businesses. I did all my own things, because someone else can do it, so can I. Right. So that's how I was taught. That's how I was raised. And I thoroughly believe that. So there's nothing I can't do. I don't think there's anything you can't do. And I don't think there's anything that Mama can't do or anybody can't do. So
we have to see through it. That's the secret right there. We have to see through that. We have to keep that attitude that people are capable and they're not broken, and you can't give them excuses. That's the feeding of the darkness. People who don't know what they're doing, and they're attempting to be a teacher. We're not malicious, but you don't know. You think that they're broken and not capable, so you're patting them on the back and saying everything is going to be okay. But you're feeding this darkness. You're pretending they're capable, and you don't know. The people who don't know what we are, they need to stop teaching and go to the mountains. That's what's causing all this suffering. They have to stop pretending that we're not all powerful and all capable, because each and every single one of us are.
And again, I'm going to refer back to the book, because I like how you put these things in there, and you are like, stop doing this, right? Like, you want us as healers. I'm a prana healer. She's a Reiki healer. You're a Reiki healer, right? But we did, as we learned our craft, we were healing everybody and everything that walked. right? And all it did is deplete us, right? And you write about this, and now you save it. You know, you don't like
Deserving
squander
energy.
it. Right.
It's
So like
deserving. And I know people shy away from that word, but it's real. Deserving. People who are lying and pretending, you can't give them this energy if they're not ready, if they're not truth seekers, if they don't want to leave that fear behind. You can't give them all this energy, or they'll take it from you. And it has to be deserving, just like God, source, spirit. God rewards those deserving. I know
Right.
this is a trigger word, and to try to think, oh, you're going to try to say somebody's not deserving. Not we're all. You have it already. You already have it. But no,
Right.
if you don't care about truth, you're not deserving to receive truth. You're not. And these lessons, and we can plant seeds. But yes, when people do not care about truth, when they don't care about leaving behind this fear, you can't just pour this love and light into them, or you lose power.
Yep.
Yep. I love how you're doing. Or
Your hand motions are very succinct. I don't know if you realize how you're holding your hands at times.
Oh yeah, I think he does.
I realize everything.
He's taking
Okay.
all the energy that he needs right now, which I think is awesome. I'm going to put up this picture again here because I want you to explain. There's the hands, okay, but explain what you're doing up there with that blanket. That was a wet blanket that you put on your body in freezing cold temperatures.
Right.
Yes.
Let's talk about the big awakening first, where the golden laws came to me. Then we'll hit on that. So we're not going back to it. So yeah, I said no to Hollywood again, and I kept moving forward. I started studying healing practices around the world, and using enlightening tools and plants, and sitting in ayahuasca ceremonies. And my first full chakra kundalini awakening was in 19, and we talked about that one already. They continued to happen after that with the right setting, the right music, the right shaman, the right tools. I could have them. I can have them when I can induce them at any time, but they're not something that should be forced and induced. They happen when I drive back into Sedona if I go to somewhere else, and they happen when I walk in the produce section in Whole Foods sometimes, and they happen when I'm at Vortexes in Sedona too. So you need the right mix of things for them really to call. And then obviously enlightening plants, ayahuasca and mushrooms and wachuma, cactus, they amplify everything. And if I take a dose of these, they're very likely to happen. So the Golden Laws of Enlightenment came to me at an ayahuasca ceremony in Costa Rica.
Okay.
And that was my greatest awakening. That is when I put truth above all and left all fear behind, and was greatly rewarded and shown how to carry this energy and heal and all these other practices. And I was shown that I needed to have a place where people could come to me to learn my teachings as well. And that's when I decided to say goodbye to Las Vegas. I was on a 10-year plan to do a retreat center in Peru or Costa Rica. But after this ceremony, I was told, you have to go now. You have to get out of Vegas. I couldn't do cities anymore. I couldn't do synthetic clothes anymore. I couldn't do the color black anymore. I had a greater awareness of food. I became vegan again. And 3 months later, I was living in Sedona and building and creating my awakening sanctuary here. And that's what in the last 4.5 years I've spent creating and building this and working on my book. And I just started accepting guests and released my book about 2 months ago now.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Yeah, the place looks amazing. And I'd like to go float down the lazy river.
Yeah, the Enlightenment Lagoon. Yeah, I have a lazy river, crystal grotto, waterfall, and yeah, it's very special.
Yeah, it looks pretty amazing. The sweat lodge, though, I don't know if I would do a sweat lodge. I would do everything else.
Oh, I would do a sweat lodge because it would keep me warm. It's those
don't-
ice bath things that just.
I don't do well with heat.
Sauna is one of the best healing practices you can do, backed
Oh,
by much research now. It's one of the most amazing things you can do for yourself. I'm training for actually the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Worlds again. I just decided next month, and one of the best ways to heal, especially after a workout, is going in a very hot sauna for 20 minutes. It's so good for you.
Finnish in Italian. The Finnish are known for being in saunas. Yet I get in the heat, I'm gonna pass out. It's
They
like,
have more saunas than cars.
oof, you know.
What's the difference between a wet sauna and a dry sauna?
The wet sauna is wet.
Oh gosh! How do I know that was coming?
I don't know. What is a wet sauna? You mean a steam sauna?
I think so. I've heard this
Water and
as
things.
two separate entities. So, like, I'm assuming the dry sauna is without the water on the rocks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't-
When you pour the water on the rocks, and the steam just makes it hotter.
Mhm.
I have a dry one. I've done steam ones before, but the steam ones are in heating up the rocks. It's just another form. The infrared has the greatest healing capabilities, though. So it's best to have the infrared directly behind you and heat you from every side with that. It works better than the rocks and the steam, but the steam I think it just makes it warmer from what I remember.
Okay.
I
And you
like
said an
infrared
infrared.
fun to you personally. That I like that. It's just the heat. I can't breathe and I'm gonna pass out. I have really crap lungs, so I got COPD and emphysema, so I just can't do it. I can't do the heat.
We can heal. We can heal.
Well, I would love to talk to you more about that personally, privately,
Sure.
about healing that, because it's my main deterrent in life now.
Well, my protocol heals all, and there's about 1,000 things in it that you can apply to your life. But with what you're talking about, more than anything, I'd recommend more exercise to overcome that, and definitely breathing through the nose to increase the capacity and to strengthen all this. You should never breathe through your mouth unless you're doing a podcast and you have to get out a lot of words and take a quick breath. You should always be breathing through the nose. I even recommend sleeping with a chin strap, so you're only breathing through your nose when you're sleeping. It's for chi. This works as a pressure regulator, a thermometer, temperature gauge, humidifier, pressure. Most importantly, chi, though, for energy to come through us. What we're breathing in, God is the breath within the breath. It's some really deep stuff. It should always come through the nose, and we should always be taking deep breaths and expanding this whole cavity here. And to overcome that, yes, more exercise and breathing through the nose and taking these deep breaths in through the nose multiple times a day. It'll only get better every day and strengthen it every day you do it.
So in through the nose and out through the nose?
Out through the nose or mouth. It is usually better to go out through the nose as well. It depends what type of breathing technique you use. When I am inducing these Kundalini awakenings and it calls, I'm getting as much air as possible. And the faster way to let it out is through the mouth.
Yeah.
So you have to listen to what calls, but it's two different practices. It's okay to let the air out through the mouth, though. It needs to come in through the nose, though.
Nose breather. Like I tried scuba diving one time, and I thought I was going to die because I can't breathe through my mouth under the water. Like I had to have that whole mask so that I could breathe because I'm a nose breather. I panicked.
Oh. What would have happened if that fear was gone?
Oh, I know. Yes, I love that. He's quickly becoming one of my new favorite people.
He's part of the family now.
Yeah, but this cold has been driving me crazy because one side of my nasal cavity here will clog up. So I get this spray that I'm spraying up my nose so I can sleep because I have to breathe through my nose. I cannot breathe through my mouth. I can't keep my mouth open to breathe. So I'm like,
I have a dark spirits bomb on my enlightenment protocol. I'm actually releasing a sick protocol this week. I do have some shamanic remedies that have my dark spirit bomb on there that you should take when you're sick right now. But the sick protocol is coming this week. Eucalyptus drops are the best natural way to help with that. And you can add those to the spirit bomb that I have. But try a drop of eucalyptus a few times a day,
Yeah.
and that will help clear that up. You can also breathe it in. Breathing it in is really, really good as well. And steam rooms are actually good. That'll, if you're breathing through the nose and flushing the fluids out, and the pots as well. You do want to clear that out though.
Yeah. That freaked me out the first time I ever did that. But
Sounds like everything freaks you out.
I was startled. I'll put it that way. I was startled by it because I didn't know what to expect. But but it worked great. It cleared everything, cleaned everything out awesomely.
And that's the thing. Everybody has to be willing to attempt to get past their fear or face their fear.
Oh, sure.
Find out if it's really, I know I always tease Gina that she's afraid of spiders and she slept with a vacuum. But I know that if it came down to it, Gina, it's more of if she sees it coming, it's not in a dark room and she can see it coming, she won't be happy with it, but she won't jump and stomp on it.
No.
I would be the one to go over with a glass and a paper and go, can I take you outside now? Or where's your nest? Because I have on my front porch, there was this summer, there was 5 huge spider webs. I had no little gnats, no little mosquitoes. And I was like, yes, you guys can stay.
Yeah. But what the video you have to watch, I saw it on Instagram, on his Instagram, that huge spider web. I'd seen a thing similar to that.
You did watch that one.
I did watch that one.
Did you make it through?
I did. Yeah.
All right. There we go.
They were touching that web, and there was so many. It was thick, huge thing. Filled with spiders.
100,000 spiders in it.
Yeah, and you were like,
wow.
No, the spiders are not attacking the people. And they're touching it and everything, So I thought that was pretty cool. But I did see that.
They don't attack you. They don't want to bite you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see you as a threat if you're not destroying their home or their web. They don't want to attack you. They know that you can crush them. Same with snakes. Snakes don't just come up and bite you. They bite you when you step on them, or when you get too close to them, you back them into a corner. They don't want to waste that bite. They know that you're bigger and you could destroy them, and they don't want to waste their venom. They don't want to break their teeth. The last thing they want to do is bite you. All of these creatures, spiders as well, they don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
It only happens when you put your hands in just tight places where they might have a web and you're getting in their space. That's or you step on them, or you sit on them, or you don't have
it's their defense mechanism.
Awareness with you.
Yeah.
We get startled, they get startled. You know what I mean? And it's just
you're sleeping in your bed at night, they're not going to come up to you and bite you and eat you.
Sure.
They don't do that. They might crawl into your mouth and you might eat them. But yeah, they're not going to eat you.
Gina's now double thinking that double chin strap to think to hold her mouth shut while she sleeps.
Yeah. That's why. That's really why I do it. Supposedly we eat multiple spiders every year, right?
But it's
oh my God, yeah.
I mean, they fall into everything. What did they say? I mean, I
don't mind a little protein at night. That's all right.
It is protein. We've watched that show, Naked and Afraid. They have to eat all.
I like that show a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it.
I bet. I bet. I can't. I'm too old.
We're comfortable.
You can choose not to, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I choose not to. But when you were saying wasting venom, you go on about why you shouldn't waste in your seed.
Nice. That is a great segue.
I just noticed how her cheeks got nice and rosy.
I like that. That's the best segue ever. Nice. Yes, So there's so many books that I want to write, and I think I'm going to start doing guidebooks, 50 to 100 pages, and I'm going to start knocking them out because I really want to do one that focuses on confidence. My next book is How to Battle Darkness, and I was considering how long I was going to make that. I think I'm going to do that as a guide as well, about how to respond to how darkness responds. And it's pretty brilliant. It's a lot of fun. It's actually a really fun book. It's something that we need. It's a weapon that we need when we're battling just lies and excuses and just how to handle it. Because again, feeding darkness, comforting and feeding darkness is one thing, but so is ignoring it. You can't ignore it either. You can't ignore it either. And we need to call it out. And I've started doing this, and I saw this, and I lost a lot of followers. So I'm just calling things out left and right, but it needs to be done. It needs to be done. I've slowed down on it a little bit, but it has to, everybody ignores it. Nobody wants to deal with it, and that's not how it goes away. We need to deal with it. We need people stepping up in their power, knowing that, if you're calling somebody out with the right intention, you're probably going to be attacked, and you're going to get darkness back from them if they're not ready to own this. And when you tell somebody you need to take better care of yourself, take more effort, then it's excuses, blame. Well, you don't know what I feel. You haven't lived my life, and you're, that's your ego, narcissist. Like you get attacked by people when you call them out, but we have to do this. Okay. What was the okay, your seed. Okay.
Yes, seed.
Yes.
Don't do that.
So another guidebook is going to be, another book I was considering was Master Nick Eagle's Guide to Sex, Dating, Relationships, and Kama Sutra. I could write a really big book on that. And obviously with my past, the show that I was on, the stripping and all that, I need to do a book like this. But I think I'm going to do a guidebook as well. When you become the better a teacher you become, the less words you need as well. And that's something, that's what I'm thinking about too. I can, and with people's attention spans, I write this long, big, thick book. Nobody's going to read it and take it in. So I'm going to get all these teachings down to like a guide, I think, with all of this, and sell them at $4.99 a pop or something like that. And yes. And one of the biggest things in there is the importance of understanding what happens with these casual hookups, and where we're taught that it relieves stress, and it's the opposite. It doesn't, because you're not relaxed after it. You're depleted. You're not. No, you're already exhausted. You're probably caffeinated, and you're exhausted. You're not sleeping enough, and you do that on top of it, and you have this release, and you think you're relaxed, and you have a little less anxiety, but it's because you're dying.
Right.
You're not. It wasn't beneficial. You're.
That's why they have
shooting out physically and energetically life out of you. This is what creates life. This is what creates life. You have to realize that, and you're losing this force that could create life. It's not healing and benefiting you. You have to know that. And and I am done spilling my seed, and I'm against it, and I hate that science is telling people you have to do it every so often or you'll get prostate. It's such nonsense. This fluid in us. Now, there's a little bit more to that though, because when you're still having these thoughts on your mind, you're thinking about sex all the time, and you're horny and turned on, that's when you're building it up and causing these problems. You have to leave that. That's still a sin. I ask Christians all the time, what's one sin you must do? And their response a lot of the time is, every time you look at a girl sexually, that's a sin. I'm like, yes, it is. I don't do that anymore. I can very much appreciate enlightened women and their energy and healthy people, but I don't go there anymore, because yes, it is a sin. It's a vibration lowering. And again, there's this buildup there. And when we don't have that buildup, one thing that determines a man's health is nightly erections, and you should be having those, and you should be able to create life if you want to. That is healthy, but you shouldn't be horny at all times, because that has this buildup, and it's a distraction.
Well, they use the excuse it's testosterone.
If I don't, it'll fall
No, that's
off.
not. No, it's different. This energy, we have to learn what this energy is. And the sexual energy, it's tied in with Kundalini for sure. You can have Kundalini awakenings, the basic ones, little ones, when you climax and have sex, it's tied in, but that's not energy you want to release. That's energy you want to build up and encompass and you get this power from you. You blow it out. You're depleted. You don't have this power. You're not walking around connected to anything in this healing vibration. This energy needs to build. It needs to activate your brain. This fluid as well. This fluid feeds your body and your system and your brain. That's what happens during these Kundalini awakenings. That fluid's coming up and it's activating the pineal gland, and it's causing these advanced states. When you're depleted, it's not going to happen. Nobody who masturbates every day has ever had a Kundalini awakening. I can promise that.
Well, because you're not whole. You're not. It's. I think it's a life essence. It's a force. So might as well keep it, because giving it away, it's not helping anybody. Not giving it away, but
No.
you know what I mean. It doesn't help
No.
anybody. So keep it to yourself.
And we know this. We know this. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know deep down. And I used to masturbate and think that you should get off, every day or every so many days. But every time I did, I'm like, really, what is the point of that? What did that do? Am I relaxed now? Is this benefiting me? We all know deep down that that's not benefiting you.
Mm-hmm.
To lose that energy. We know it, but it feels good, so we do it. We don't think, eating junk food, we don't think it's going to harm us that much. Masturbating, we don't think it's going to harm us that much. But when you do all these things, and caffeine's not going to harm us that much. I mean, how better of a person can I be if I go eat 2 meals a day instead of 3? I've been there. We're one. I understand this, but once you start learning how much it is benefiting you, because you never have, you need to learn how it is. When I quit drinking alcohol, it was the first time I went a full month. I'm like, whoa, this is what it feels like to be human?
Okay.
I remember that too, because they had all those problems, drugs, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, different. We, like I said, we all had to walk our paths. I own my path fully. I'm an open book. I talk about it a lot, maybe
We all need to be.
Yeah.
That's how we help people. We have to put it all on the table. They have to know everything. If you're holding anything back, I know, again, it's trendy and most people teach that don't tell everybody everything and build in silence. And no, show your story. What do you have to hide? What do you have to hide?
Right.
There's nothing to hide.
No, you did it.
You're not going to get any help when you're doing that either.
Right.
You're cutting off aid and help and insight. We're in this together. Let's do this together. We all root for everybody. Some people, we're all rooting for everybody, even the worst of us. They're still rooting for people who are doing well. Nobody wants anybody to fail. We really don't. Again, there's not bad people out there. There's not malicious people out there. There's lost and confused people out there, but we are all rooting for everybody. We really are.
Mm-hmm.
I see it.
I see some of the people that aren't rooting for people. I see people that are so very self-centered and they're just rooting for themselves. And I'm hoping that they will have.
You have never met a person who wouldn't help somebody on the side of the road who is bleeding out and dying. You've never met a person who wouldn't help them.
I certainly have. I'm sad to say. I'm not going to say who it is, but, I would bend over backwards. I would stitch that person up myself. You know what I mean? I would drag them to the hospital. I would stitch them before they got there. I would do everything. Yet I do know someone that walked right by, and I don't
promise you they wouldn't. I promise you. I challenge you to explore into that even deeper. No matter what this person has done and what you think of this person, that's not something any of us would ever do. Unless we're too high or drunk or to notice or something like that. But nobody is going to watch somebody die in front of them. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. I see it. I see through us. There are our most lost are the people who attempt to harm people to give themselves pleasure. And that's also a lie. I see through these. You see them. I like watching these videos of them being interviewed and them trying to convince people that they're so smart and they're hurting people and it brings them pleasure. No, it doesn't. They're trying to convince the world that because they made these foolish mistakes and they won't own them. But there's nobody out there who would see a stranger. I'm not talking about someone who even somebody who wronged you, or somebody shot you. I'm not talking about a situation where somebody shot you and you shot them and then they're bleeding. Okay, you deserve this because you tried to kill me. Not one of those situations. Some person sees somebody they don't know dying. Nobody is going to leave them there. No, not even these killers. Nobody's going to do that.
Okay, I hope so. I really do. Can you tell that I have this little
Kick.
thing in me? Like, because I swear I met Satan. I don't know if that person would do that.
I'm glad you're saying you don't know now.
Well, yeah. But do you believe in good and evil?
Good and evil are two things. I mean, they're words. There's a definition to those words. There's good and evil. There's bad. Evil more than anything is ignorance. Again, our most lost and confused people. They're attempting to hurt people to gain pleasure. There's nothing more ignorant than that. It is impossible. You can pretend you're getting pleasure because you made a foolish decision and now you just want to live in this world and try to continue to pretend that you made a good decision. You're really getting pleasure. You're not. You're destroying yourself. That's not a thing. But yeah,
this is another segue into what you say about the power of words and how important the words that we choose are.
Well, the number one golden law is truth above all, and your words need to mean everything. I believe that's the first sentence of it.
Right. So that's really neat. Hold the book up again, because in this book, people, honest to God, you're going to learn a lot, really a lot. I've been trying to push some buttons here. I'm gonna say it, but he is living what he is teaching.
He lives what he teaches. He doesn't just say it. You could see, and he just, it's calm. He's calm. You're calm. You are just like even keel. You go high, but you never go to a certain lowness that you can't come back from.
I have to. My first book, The 100 Kicks in the Ass book, when I wrote that, I wasn't doing everything, but I knew what I should be doing. But after I released the book, I had to do it after that. And fortunately I did, because that's what really led me to the Kundalini awakening. But yes, I do everything in here. I put nothing bad in me for any reason ever. I only put the most amazing things in me. I recently went frutivore as well, but I decided to go back to jujitsu. So I incorporated some nuts and potatoes and millet back into my diet because I need the extra calories for that. But yes, I live all of this, and it's so much effort and energy put into it. And it's the same teachings of my first book, but more evolved, a higher vibration. And it's dense. It's dense. Yeah, I have
I love all your affirmations too.
Beautiful affirmations too. I highly recommend doing those. I put them in my Instagram stories every day. Every morning I put the most powerful affirmations. They're very important. But again, with affirmations too, another good segue.
Right.
Your words need to mean everything. You can't just say the words. They mean nothing. And if you say the words that don't mean them, you're losing power. You're harming yourself. If you say, with every breath, I'm going to become more confident. With every breath, I'm going to become more confident. With every breath, I'm going to become more confident. You have to own that. And now every time you breathe, you have to become more confident because you made this vow, So that's as you move on in life and you're understanding that everything is an opportunity and an experience to grow. And you have to do that now. There's no backing down. That's these vows, these sacred vows are so important. When you make this vow to yourself, it has to mean everything. And I highly recommend everybody give yourself these vows. Just do it. Just go for it. Vow to learn everything you can to operate at the highest levels. And I have my enlightenment protocol for you now. 20 years of me trying to figure out the best things to incorporate. Everybody check that out. That's nickeaglemystic.com. It's my life's work and gift to the world. And there's over 100 things in there that average person can add to their life to operate at higher levels.
Right. Now, all of that, and to maintain that, you talk about this too. Another segue. Gratitude. If you start your day off being grateful. So if you can do all these affirmations and you can do all these steps and all your protocols and your enlightenment protocols, and have gratitude for what you obtain, because that's how you keep it. Hi, Beth. I love you. Because I really believe that is one of our most powerful things. Forgiveness and gratitude, I think, are two huge.
Oh, yeah. One of the golden laws is have much appreciation and gratitude for all of creation. It doesn't make sense to only thank God when things go good. You have to thank God for everything, because without choice, this means nothing. And it's such a deep teaching there that you have to understand. We have to have the choice. Why do people do bad things? Because we have to have the choice, or this is nothing.
Or it's a lesson. Hopefully they learn from their lessons. You know what I mean?
Well, they don't know better. You have to understand that we're one. This is a beautiful story. I think it was in my first book. I'm not sure if it was in the second. So picture somebody who just teleported, who just appeared on the street and had no thought, no memory of anything but the ability to walk. And they start walking down the street. The first person they run into them punches them. The second person punches them. Third person punches them. Fourth, fifth, 99th person punches them. How is this person going to respond to this 100th person with no guidance? He's going to be scared. He's going to fight back. The same person teleported again in another universe. Started walking down the street. The first person hugged him. The second person hugged him. Taught him something, told him some guidance, taught him his power. Third, fourth, fifth, 90. How is he going to treat the 100th person? This is all of us. You have to see that if we walked in their shoes, we would be them. This is something that we have to own. It's so deep. Even the darkest, most lost people, you have to understand that could have been you. Right. We don't have souls. We share a soul. We are all a part of God. It's an extension of it. And if you teach people that there's bad people and there's good people, and some people are inherently evil and bad, that's the darkest teaching right there, to ever suggest that. And that's such little understanding of what we really are.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to put up these pictures again. Okay, so these are the two books. Now, as the first book, 100 Kicks in the Ass, you are Nick Hawk. And then the Golden Laws of Enlightenment, you are now Nick Eagle. Can you explain what happened to...
So 100 Kicks in the Ass book, 100 Kicks in the Ass book is a good book. I don't recommend getting it though, because again, all the teachings are here, and this is of a higher vibration, and it's better teachings here, and they're similar teachings. So you don't need to get the 100 Kicks in the Ass one. So I took upon the Nick Hawk persona when I was becoming confident. And again, Nick Hawk was this truth seeker, and he was looking to leave behind all the fear. Mm-hmm. But at the ceremony, as you read about in the book, I did have an eagle visit me. And it was just, when I picked the Hawk name, it meant nothing to me. For some reason, the first name that came to me, I liked birds, I liked outdoors, but it just came to me. And it all makes so much sense now. It was the perfect spirit animal to encompass for the journey. But when the Golden Laws came to me, and the eagle, my first really spirit animal, came to me in 3 different showings in one night, I didn't become Nick Eagle right away. I sat with it, and after I started working on the lands here, but I felt a strong eagle presence here. And listen to this. I just discovered this recently. This is something I wish was in the book, but it just happened. So I felt a strong eagle presence here, and it called, and I still honor and have much respect for the hawk, but I knew it was time to take upon, to step into a greater power as Nick Eagle. And this place was called Hawk's Vortex at the time, and now it's Eagle Vortex as well. And I felt this eagle presence here. I thought I brought it with me. Recently, I took a train trip in Verde Valley, and I get there, and there's 2 giant golden eagles outside of the place. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? This is beautiful. And I took the train trip, and there's golden eagles not far from here.
Nice.
And then I come to learn, I read in a book, this actually happened before the train trip. And I think somebody told me something too, and I was talking about the book. No, yeah. I read in a book and talked about it that golden eagles nest behind me in the mountains. After I wrote the Golden Laws of Enlightenment and became Nick Eagle and called this place Eagle Vortex. I read in a book and someone told me that eagles nest in the mountain. I didn't know if it was true or not, but then taking the train trip verified that there's the creek that goes through here, and it's called a river, but it's a creek. They're not major waterways with lots of fish. So I didn't think that eagles were here. I wasn't sure if I really even believed that they nested in there. That might be some, majestic tale, thousands of years ago or something. But sure enough, they are behind me, and it's not just eagles; it's golden eagles. And
right? You're in the fox den, right? You're in the fox den for a reason. I'm the parrot fox, right? I mean, the fox is my spirit animal. The butterflies that are flying around it is Mama D's spirit animal. Like, she sends.
They're not my spirit animal. They're my healers. They
right.
work with these healers.
Her messages and healing out on the wings of
Butterfly wings.
Yeah. And then if I go somewhere and I leave somewhere, and then all of a sudden they're calling me up going, there was a fox in my yard. I've never seen a fox in the yard, and it's like, I know, I send them. They're the guardians between this realm and the next.
I'd love to see a fox. I haven't seen one here. I did see one in Payson. I was with a client crystal hunting, I think.
Well, there
and I think that time I was up there on my own. And it was in a tree, and I watched it jump out of the tree. And yeah, that might have been the first. I probably saw a couple in Wisconsin, where I'm from, when I was younger, but that's the only fox I saw. Supposedly there's a bobcat here. And when I was building the Enlightenment Lagoon and the Crystal Grotto, there's big poop in there. That wasn't just a house cat. And
no.
And then I had a CE5 meditation here, and she sensed a bobcat spirit, which was really neat, or a bobcat. And I'm like, it must be, because that would make sense. I haven't seen it though.
Oh. Well, do you have cameras around?
Yeah, I haven't. I had them up a little while, but I need to. Yeah, I have the motion sensor ones too. I need to get a Bigfoot on one.
That'd be nice.
The plan.
Skinwalker, right? You got those things out there. Isn't all that stuff out that way?
None of those here. Bigfoot though.
But you might see like fennec foxes, or like the little. They look like little coyotes almost, but they're little foxes. They're little gray foxes. They got a little nose. They're really cute, but they like the desert.
You wanted to touch on the sheet drawing, so let me give you the sheet drawing.
Yes, let me put that up. All right, so nope, not this one. This one. See him up here in the corner here. This is all the beautiful mountains behind him.
That's on Eagle Peak, about 20 minutes behind me. Yep.
Wow.
And you can continue up and go all the way up to Bear Mountain Peak, but that's Eagle Peak. That's where it happened. So as I said, I would be doing, after the Kundalini awakening happening, actually the guy who was with me took me to my first real ayahuasca ceremony, and I started using that teacher and sitting with shaman. And in ceremonies, they're at night, and when it gets late, it would always get really cold, and everybody would be snuggled up with blankets, and I'd be having my Kundalini awakenings, and my shirt would be off, and I'd be heating the whole room, and I'd be totally warm, controlling my body temperature. And then this one day it hit me. Don't monks do this? And I researched it, and they do the Tumo breath, which is very similar. This is what I've been shown. Nobody instructed me how to do this. And they're drying sheets in the mountains, and I'm releasing this book, this reality TV star who was a stripper and has all these tattoos, supposedly had a Kundalini awakening. So I knew I could prove this in a couple ways if possible. So I have more people, tuning in and paying attention and just attempting to believe this absurd story that happened to me. And I knew one way to do that was to dry this sheet. And I knew that I could do it. So the day before I went on social media, I said, I'm doing this tomorrow. I'm heading out, and I got an assistant. She filmed the whole thing. I went up into on Eagle Peak. It was 16 degrees. It was colder than I thought it'd be. And I soaked a sheet. I didn't wring it out that much either because I'm already inducing this state. I'm in this meditation. So I'm not completely connected to my body and everything that's happened. But I put this drenched sheet on me, and I sat with the sheet on, videotaping my first ever videotaped full chakra Kundalini awakening. And I sat with the sheet for more than 30 minutes and taped it all. And it's very powerful. And if you go to my website and click the Kundalini page, I have a FAQ there, and I offer Kundalini activations, and the video is there. If you're interested in this stuff, I highly recommend checking it out. And that was when and that is when I became Master Nick Eagle after this feat as well. The spirits that gave me the title.
It was legit too, because your nose was even like freezing.
Yeah, I didn't plan on that because I do the breathing through the nose, and my entire navel cavity was freezing all the way up. So I had to put the parka over it and warm it up a couple times. So it was a little challenging and distracting, but I still did it and pulled it off. And I got a couple more I'm going to do. So I think I can break the ice bath world record, which is like 4 hours. I think I can beat that, because if I can breathe through my nose and without it freezing, then I think I'm good. I think I'm good, because even after the 30 minutes, this wet sheet, it was windy, 16 degrees. It might have warmed up a little bit, but it was below freezing. And my hands were a little cold, and I sweat all the way out there too. I hauled butt all the way out to the mountain, and I was drenched. So my everything was drenched. My sweats, my socks, and I just got into it again. I didn't, and my feet were okay, but my hands were a little cold. But after it, my ears weren't even cold. This wet sheet, the wind, I warmed all of this up, everything with my hands a little bit. If I did it again, I'd probably wear mittens if it was that cold. But I think I can break some of these world records. Like I'm quite certain I can. And the next thing I'm going to do, though, I want to hook myself up to an EKG and monitor my brain. This needs to be done. I might be the first person, and I'm looking for somebody to do this. I'm talking to a couple people right now. I might be the first person to document going into hyper gamma and staying there. And I really want to do this because my story is so absurd. I want to prove that I'm not playing around. And a lot of people, and even in the meditation Olympics and all these gurus and masters, they do it and they hook them up, and they're not going where they think they're going. But I might be the first person to document staying. I'm quite certain I stay in hyper gamma, and I might be the first person to hit lambda. When I'm inducing these full chakra kund, I might be hitting lambda, and this has never been done. They documented a monk from the Himalayas in Wisconsin years ago, and he was hitting hyper gamma in these meditations. I'm staying there, and I might be going to lambda. So there's exciting stuff ahead, and I can't wait to do that, because that's the ultimate proof that I'm not, because my story is so absurd that this is legit.
So this is like an addiction too, to keep doing these things. You know,
what's that?
It's like an addiction.
An addiction? I don't know if I describe it as an addiction. I describe it as purpose. And then the more I do, and the more people I can, prove what we're capable of to, the more people I can help. But addiction's a bad word. I don't like addiction. For purpose. It's purpose. Yeah. I've vowed to do everything I can to eliminate darkness and suffering throughout the entire planet. So I got a lot of work to do, and I got to figure this out. And it was really easy. My last book, when I was on TV, I did the breakfast show. I did the biggest radio show. I had all these people interviewing me. It's challenging outside of the spiritual community now to have anybody listen to anything I have to say. So I got to figure some things out, and hooking my brain up is one way to do this.
Stay true to you is what you do, because you're doing it. You know, you're proving it. You're doing it. You're living it. That's what you have to do. That's it. You know.
Well, somebody with very little awareness, could watch a couple of my videos and run through my website and see that, this isn't a show. But too many people do fail us in the spiritual community. And, even talking about enlightenment or Kundalini, there's most people in America, 99% of them are probably, misleading us. Yeah, but again, they're not being malicious. They don't know. A lot of these people have gotten a taste. But I still see the fear. I see the fear in their eyes. And some of them brought this energy up to their heart, which what I think I did in 2005, to have this oneness. And they think that, they're this master teacher now. And no, they still have that fear. And if there's any fear there, all your teachings, there's lies in all of your teachings. There's lies in all of them. And these are the people who are telling people it takes so long to heal and it's so hard and you're traumatized and you can't overcome, and they just feed darkness. And just like therapists in modern psychology, it's not a system to teach you your power. It's a system to keep you in this low vibration to comfort your darkness. They don't know what they're doing though. They're feeding it.
You have a PhD in psychology.
Philosophy.
Philosophy. Sorry.
I was going to do psychology because I wanted to beat the system from the inside, but there's nothing to learn from it. Do philosophy. And I went to a metaphysics school too. So I did the bachelor and master's in the metaphysics, and I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I didn't waste my time with psychology. There's nothing there. It's complete darkness. Again, we're evolving now. And there are some therapists and psychologists out there who are teaching people their power, but that's not what it was built from. And almost nobody did that in the beginning. We are learning now. We are awakening to it. So obviously it's not everybody, but it is most of it.
Yeah. They want to keep you unwell because that's their livelihood. If you get cured,
they don't know better. They haven't battled their demons. They have nothing else to offer. Everybody wants to help. But when you haven't battled your demons, you're just conjuring darkness with them and feeding darkness and comforting it because you don't know how to teach people their power because you haven't learned what yours is.
Yeah.
What would you say is your superpower?
All of them? You think I just picked one?
Yeah, your top one. Wait.
My greatest power.
That's true.
I think you just nailed it. What I do now is the power that I've obtained by not comforting darkness on any level is probably my greatest power. Because what I can do now is I cause awakenings in people by looking into their eyes and not saying a word. I've done this in grocery stores. I remind them, and I look in their eyes, and I don't feed into it at all. And I'm in there. I'm in that head. I'm saying, and I'm telling them, this is all you. It doesn't have to be like this. And not accepting any of those lies. It's a world of pretending. Everybody pretending to be broken, and everybody pretending with everybody else. And allowing people to have their excuses and feeding of darkness. That's what this world is right now. You get someone who looks into your eyes and doesn't pretend with you, you feel that. And I love doing this now. Nobody can come up to and lie to me anymore and think that they can get away with it. We need more of this.
A liar cannot look at you in the eye and can't keep that gaze. A liar's eyes always dart, and they always dart to the left. You can always tell when someone's lying. There are telltale signs. Always.
It's a little tricky there, though, too. When you're thinking, you're exploring your brain up here, and you can look away. So it's kind of hard to decipher with that. And no, some there in lying. Lying is a form of intelligence. It's a low form, but being able to lie and put on a show, you have to be to act. You do have to have some intelligence to do that. And most liars know that if I need to keep looking them in the eyes. Like most liars study that, and so you can most definitely lie to somebody and keep looking into their eyes. But and sometimes when people look away when they're talking, it's because they're exploring their brain and they're thinking and they're accessing and memories and everything too. So it's not always this like total 100% sign if someone's looking away that they're lying. Okay. Sometimes people look away when they're like, I've noticed myself doing this. I've done this in videos before where I'm talking and I look away and I'm like, oh, they're going to think that I was lying, but I wasn't. I wasn't sure if I should be sharing what I was sharing. So there are other reasons to look away. Like, am I talking too high of myself here? That's what happens. And I'll look, oh, should I be doing this? I'm not lying, but I'm kind of shying away a little bit because I don't know if people will connect to what I'm saying.
It's kind of like having that dimmer switch on who you are. You dim it down a little bit. So for certain people, because they just don't. They're not ready for it. They're not going to get it.
Maybe. But I think the world is definitely ready for you, Nick. I think you're a breath of fresh air. You're a breath of fresh air.
Thank you. Thank you.
Different, unique.
This is definitely what we need. I know it's what we need. I know it's in this spiritual community too, where confidence and masculinity is shined upon, but it's not. It is not even. This isn't masculine energy. This is power. This is power. I don't even like deciphering masculine and feminine because they're power. When you're tapped in, it's this. It shouldn't scare people away. You shouldn't shy away from true power and truth and this confidence.
Yeah. It is very interesting, Beth. All of this is very interesting. If you had just come in, anybody that has just come in, can you hold your book up? As I usually have the book, but I have a PDF, so I don't have the copy. This is the book we're talking about, The Golden Laws of Enlightenment. Honest to God, it's a great book to get. It is not like your typical yogi book that you would read in Sanskrit or anything like that. No. It is hardcore. It is
true.
It's readable. It's sacred teachings, but they're new age. I don't like the new age word, but they're readable. You'll understand them.
Yeah,
I present them well, and it also includes a bunch of stories, fun stories of my extraterrestrial encounters too that happened before the Kundalini awakening. My first one happened in Sedona, and my guest home here is called the UF home. That's what I call it, and it has a viewing deck up on top. And the two guest rooms are the Bigfoot room and the ET room. Right. So I'm really big with making contact and CE5 meditations as well.
Now, if someone wants to come to Eagle
Vortex Awakening Sanctuary.
Yes. If we want to go there, what do we have to do to get there? NickEagleMystic.com.
Click on Eagle Vortex and start exploring. I have a little history of it. You go into more depth of what I offer here. The retreat packages. Everybody who comes here the first time is required to do a private retreat with me. So I can get you settled, show you around, do some meditations, go over the rules and requests and expectations, help you set an intention, pay our respects to the land. And then after that, you can come however you want. And I have a bare minimum wake up and enlighten package, depending on how much time you want to have with me. And they're all affordable too. And adding an extra night is like $300. And you have me in this entire sanctuary, this pretty much a resort with an enlightenment lagoon, to yourselves for the most part. I'm not trying to pack this in. I'm trying to find the right people. One day I'll only be doing groups as well. So right now I am doing the one-on-ones and I love them. My first 3 retreats, I just released the video today. I'm 3 for 3. This wasn't even the plan. I didn't plan on everybody coming here and awakening, but I'm 3 for 3 for it right now. 2 Kundalini awakenings, and another one during a Wachuma cactus ceremony. I had a lady who I've been working with for over 10 years. I did some very deep shamanic work with her voice, and I took her to the light and I talked her up to leave this fear behind. And after the ceremony, I didn't recognize it. It's the first time she talked to me without fear behind her words. And I just released this video today. So yeah, I'm not messing around.
Wow. That's pretty powerful stuff. Now, do you think that the location that you're in Sedona, that it's a magical place?
It's perfection. I was destined to be here. I showed one person after I didn't know this land at all. I didn't even know there was residential area here. I knew Enchantment Resort, and I knew that you could take ATVs through here. And after the ceremony, I told somebody that I had to be, I know I need to go to Sedona. And I pulled out Google Maps and I said, I have to be right there. And I pointed on the map exactly where I am. I didn't even know that I could get land here. It was just, that's in the book, all these synchronicities and beautiful magical things like that. But no, I'm definitely supposed to be here. There's few places I can be right now. It's Sedona and Mount Shasta. You know, they're 2 of the few besides like the Grand Canyon and Yosemite. I can't do cities anymore. I can handle them. I can be in them, but with this awareness now, I just know how much they drain me in the chaos and the cement and the and the energy. I know I just do so much better here. So yeah, me with Sedona energy, the vortexes, the land, the red healing dirt, everything. It's just the most special and magical component to put together to help you have these awakenings, especially if you read my book and you go through the rules and requests as I properly prepare you to come here as well. I'm setting you up to have magical awakenings for sure.
So you would suggest read the book first, make your appointments, maybe do some online stuff and then go there?
Follow me on social media, NickEagleMystic.com. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube or TikTok, then also X and Threads. And warm up to my teachings a little bit there. Comment, please comment. I welcome all questions and challenges in the search of truth. Anything at all. If something stirs something up a little, say it. Come to me with it. In the search of truth and leaving behind the fear. And start with the video. Some of them, I trigger things too. Don't allow the triggering to, get lost with truth. But then, explore the Enlightenment protocol. Come to me with questions with that too. I answer all brief and respectful questions online. I get a lot of them, but I love this work. I'm really happy to do it. I put so much effort into my videos too. I love them. And then if you're liking the teachings, definitely get the book. But warm up. Get on my Enlightenment protocol. Make some changes. Start connecting and get in tune with my teachings. Then read this book because this is an awakening tool too. There's a chapter dedicated to awakening people, and I have people coming to me now saying that they're having Kundalini awakenings while reading this as well. So this is all powerful stuff. But get excited and get ready. And nothing is scary. You don't have to have this dark night of the soul. Kundalini energy is the opposite of scary. When you bring this up, you become powerful. It doesn't happen with the fear. Get excited.
Yep. I hear you. I was reading it. I mean, really, it's a quick read if you're just reading it quickly. But you should read it quickly first and then go back and focus. You know what I mean? And do these things. But it's a really good presentation. You can run through it the first time, but no, it is built to. I do that for my show. You know what I mean?
It is built to awaken though. So take these on. If something's not connecting, if one of the chapters isn't connecting, I do recommend to sit with it for a few days or a week and go to the mountains and meditate on that and get somewhere with it before continuing, because it is designed to spark something in you, to bring some fire to your eyes and possibly release this Kundalini energy.
Right. Meditating. Now, this is another segue there too, because I like what you wrote about when we have our crazy hectic lives and everyone's like, oh, well, I'll just get rid of it. I'll meditate. Like when you go to bed and you're exhausted and everything else. It's like, you're like, just go to sleep.
Yeah. I'll fall asleep.
I mean, just don't do it.
Yeah, no meditation when you're sleeping. I just released a blog post about this too. Why, you think meditation's boring, you don't get anything out of it. The few times I attempted to meditate before the Kundalini awakening, same thing. I saw spiritual people. I'm like, I like that. That's good vibes. But then I meditated. I'm like, nothing's happening. Is it a show? And I thought to myself, I hope it's not a show because I like the vibes. But is it a show? Nothing's happening. But I didn't know the importance of being fully charged and rested to get the benefits. We have to. When I recommend meditating, if you work a full week, heal up Friday, heal up Saturday, go Sunday, go to the mountains, and you meditate there when you're fully charged. Because you first have to store all these distractions, all the confrontations that entered your life, and all the things you're avoiding and confronting your fears, battling your demons. But it's all calculations more than anything. What is this fear? You need to go to the mountains to calculate that it's just something that keeps you in this low vibration. And it's very destructive. But you have to be operating at high levels to make these calculations. Once you start making these calculations, operating at high levels, you're going to store all those. And then the ultimate end game is the clearing the mind. And that's when the magic starts happening. So that is the end game. And the magic only happens when you're fully rested, healed, and operating at the highest levels.
Well, what if you can't go to the mountains?
Who can't go to the mountains?
Well, some people like Mama D. She's up in Canada.
I can't go to Sedona Mountains, but
and she
so long as I can get out in nature, I'm okay.
So I'm writing a book called I'm writing a book called Going to the Mountains, where I describe what this means more, because that is the number one piece of advice that I give people, and I mean it figuratively and literally. So going to the mountains is just putting that work in. It doesn't mean that you have to go to a mountain, but going to the mountains is more beneficial to do. If you're up on a mountain, there's much wisdom. There's much sacred knowledge and wisdom up there. So it is better to go up to a mountain. But I mean it, more than anything, it means putting that work in. Yeah. And stop avoiding yourself and running from your fears. That's what it means more than anything. You don't have to do it on top of a mountain, but it is more beneficial up there.
Do you think that even if they go into nature itself, like I live in the country, so for me it's like the backyard is wild and crazy because it's got Chinese wild bamboo, which is
much better than inside. Yeah, sit that butt on that ground and ground as well and take it in. I'm good with forest too. I'm good with the ocean. You can go to the mountains and the ocean. That's and on the beach. Forests are totally good.
I like the cleansing in the ocean because of the tide coming in, the waves coming in and the waves coming out. So it's like, good energy coming in, bad energy, good energy coming in, bad. I like the ocean for cleansing. But and the salts, purify and magnesium. It's really good for your body as well, and it's the best way to ground too. Actually, jumping in the ocean. Yeah.
True.
Excellent.
In the forest, you can cover yourself with leaves and dirt and lay on the ground. And do a meditation like that. That's a beautiful one that you could do and connect with the forest spirits.
Done that. Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've definitely done that.
Yep.
Good.
I had wee folk living in my house for a while, so.
Nice. And one thing that I offer here that I haven't done yet is, I'm where the Sedona red dirt is. I'm in the thick of it, and I'm offering Sedona red dirt mud baths. And so that's another thing. At my website, I have an entire page of offerings that are available. Everything from meditation, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, self-defense, taking you hiking. I whatever you want to do. Like we can do it. Taking my razor on some trails if you can't hike. All of the above, and personal training. But I added red dirt mud bath, and I have 2 giant horse troughs. So I'm excited to do that for the first time with somebody. I have a wash that goes through my property, so I can get some really good muddy red dirt out of there, and the hose. And I'm excited to do one of those. I've had a lot of interest in those too.
That sounds like fun. It does. But can I ask you, what is like when you do jujitsu? Is that like Tai Chi more or less? Like, is it a more fluid, or is it
no? But since you did the Tai Chi segue, I do recommend doing movements. Part of my protocol in the morning is going outside, getting some sun, grounding, bare feet on the dirt, and doing some movements. Nothing crazy, no crazy running, powerlifting, even push-ups. But it might be my best work. I just released Kundalini Warrior Wake Up Movements. It's a video on YouTube. It's in my Enlightenment protocol, and it's a combination of Kundalini, Tai Chi, Qigong, all of the above, all the best moves, me tuned in. I'm me being shown and tuned in and being present. I go out there and my mind's clear, and I just do what I used to call it God shows me, but it's me making calculations of what the best movements are to energize and wake up my body and detox and cleanse. So I just released that. I highly recommend checking that out. But jujitsu it's MMA. It's everything but striking. So there's takedowns, there's chokes, there's arm locks and leg locks. It's everything but striking. I have done every form of MMA. I did consider fighting. I said I was going to wait till I got my black belt, and I kind of had one set up with Bellator too. I was on the show. I could have made it happen if I wanted to, but I'm like, you couldn't pay me enough money to punch me in the head. So, we get hit sometimes with accidental knees and elbows in jiu-jitsu, and it's like, I hope that wasn't the one that did some permanent damage. Right. But the people I train with, everything's under control. We never go 110. When you're on the mat competing, it's a little different. But no, jiu-jitsu is a beautiful form of self-defense, and the best one anybody can have. And I like teaching it to women also, because women, when they're being attacked, women can throw up a leg triangle over one arm in somebody's neck and choke out a very large man. A small woman can choke out a very large man in a leg triangle and get out of there, especially if, they're right on top of them, or, attempting to rape, if they're on top in that position. If a woman knows how to throw up a leg triangle, they might get out of that.
Yeah.
So and also taking the back and getting a choke in. A small woman could lock up a choke on me. Well, maybe not me, but my neck is ridiculous. I can tense up my neck and I can take a choke. But 99.999% of men, a small woman could lock up a choke and take them out. And it's pretty quick too. Yeah. So I like to teach this, and it's very important in the search of confidence and learning what you are as well. I recommend everybody I recommend everybody do every form of mixed martial arts, play every instrument, learn every sport, do it all.
I know, right? Well, we like
hacky sack, frisbee, get coordinated, all the above. Do it. Those are the top two I recommend to improve coordination: hacky sack and frisbee. You know how to throw a frisbee on target. You can throw a darts, you can shoot pool, and all of them interconnect. Every skill that you learn helps every other skill. Throwing darts helps jujitsu. They all help each other.
I played pool for a year and a half. That's how I made my living.
Nice. I hustle pooled a little bit before I joined the Air Force.
Everything.
We should play sometime.
I haven't played it. I have a couple sticks. I had a pool table at my last house in Vegas. It sold with the house though. I was considering ping pong here. Ping pong is fun.
It is. It is. I like ping pong.
I played ping pong with Ron Jeremy once, and he destroyed me. Like in his later years too. I couldn't believe it. He's a ninja. Like, I'm really good. I beat almost everybody, and I couldn't score a point on him. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Well, you had fun.
He came to my house in Vegas once. Yeah, I was having a party.
It was humbling. So, bow down to the master. Just improve. That's all. God. All right, how are we doing? We got 15 minutes left. Oh my God, this has been flying by.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. I know. I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. So let's talk about like ayahuasca, all these types of things.
I need 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay. We'll be here.
Yeah, we're here. So, Mama.
Yes, baby.
Are you enjoying this?
Yes, I am. It's interesting. There's a lot of things that we know, and a lot of things that I was like, maybe. And it's like you're getting a little bit of, okay. And like when he said when he meditates in the water, where do I say I meditate all the time? While doing dishes, the water is constantly running. So it's like, yep. Oh, he's got
All right.
shades.
Hi.
No, part of my protocol, blue blocking lights. I don't do blue blocking lights after 7, and I'm 46 minutes past that right now. So
Okay.
yeah, this is a big part of the protocol. No blue lights at night, or it'll hurt your sleep.
Oh,
I never thought of that. And the red,
Oh,
the red
so
film
important.
is better than we'll say the yellow or.
You should have your comfort shield on your phone at all times too, especially if you're looking at it at night. But yeah, no blue lights at night. It's destroying your sleep. You're losing 20-30% of what you could have got if you're looking at blue lights. Yeah, these are so destructive. I can't stand these. I don't like being. This is more it destroys your entire mentality. It shrinks your pineal gland. These artificial lights, they suck the life out of us. When you grow your awareness, you're just so in tune to these. Even I wear hats and glasses in airports, and I'll never go in a Walmart again, but even at some grocery stores and stores, I can't. It's all poison. Why not Walmart?
well, you had this. Well, you've had really. I mean, you're going so. How do you? All right, if you don't go to the stores, how are you getting your supplies that you need? Are you having them delivered?
Amazon.
I love Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon.
There's a lot of time. I go to Whole Foods in Sedona for most of my food. It's mostly fresh fruits and frozen fruits. You were asking about ayahuasca?
Yes.
Yes. Tell us more about
the protocols that you do and what you offer there. Would this be like if I wanted to go there and do this, would it be one-on-one, or would it be with multiple people? How would that work?
So ayahuasca and even mushrooms and
I love mushrooms. Let me tell you.
What's that? Psychedelic mushrooms.
Yes.
Yeah. Ayahuasca is a psychedelic as well as and cactus, wachuma too. So they're all still Schedule 1 illegal drugs. We're working on that. They're legal now in some states to. We're getting there, and one day they'll all be legal again. But technically, they're all still illegal. And ayahuasca is pressed more than anything else. So if someone wants to do ayahuasca with me, we'll go somewhere legal to do it. So I might recommend a retreat somewhere else. Now, technically, I can do all of these practices here under my spiritual practice, and I'm also I'm also in the process of creating a church. So under the Constitution, we legally can do these practices, and they are now offering exemptions as well. And my lawyers are looking into this right now. So I'm hoping one day I can legally do all of this stuff here. But right now, I'm careful with everything. I don't offer it to everybody. I do want people who want to do them to come to me, though, so I can properly prepare them and answer questions. All the shaman, especially in America, more darkness feeding. They just comfort darkness. All these ceremonies, I have to leave them early because there's so much darkness at them, and everybody just feeling bad about life and pretending that they're broken and purging, and it's just you shouldn't purge. Just like the dark night of the soul. I've drank ayahuasca 30 times and I've never purged, and you'll probably never hear of even any shaman who has ever done that. It's because I don't chew the fear. You're purging lies and all this fear. And with proper preparation, you don't have to have this bad experience. And then if you have a bad experience, like most people do, because they're not properly prepared, they go and tell everybody it's so hard and don't do it. And the sacred medicine has such a bad rap right now. One of the biggest people in the spiritual community brought more disgrace to the medicine. I don't want to say his name, but wouldn't take long to dig into who this is. This going to ayahuasca ceremonies and going on and crying about how hard it was and just turning off the entire world away from these greatest teachers we have on this planet, these enlightening tools when you have the right guidance. So if you come to me, I will send you, I have a blog right now. It's another guide that I'm going to create. So I'm going to expand upon this, but the guide is really good. It'll get your mindset, and you need to be doing research as well. This number one, you can't do them with any fear. You don't fear the unknown, and understand that the bad trip is you. You're the bad trip, not these sacred teachers. It's because you're choosing fear. You're running, you're coming. They're an enlightening tool. They take you face to face with God. They're in it, and it's your choice there. If you choose fear, you're going to have a bad trip, and you're going to purge. And so for all this, any type of awakening, you need a guide, and I'm the guide now. I'm the person you need to come to for this stuff. I'm more than happy to be this person. I want you to come to me. I don't want you going to other people, because I know what's out there. I know people are scaring people, telling people Kundalini's scary, ayahuasca's scary. It's so dark and gross. These are beautiful things, and with the right guidance and preparation, you're not going to have these freak out moments. It's trendy on social media right now, even to say that spiritual awakening is anxiety and panic attacks. I see that so often. And it's not supposed to be. It doesn't have to be. You can say it's okay if you go on social media and say I had an awakening, but I had a panic attack after. Help me. But don't say spiritual awakening is panic attacks just because you had one. Don't say ayahuasca is this horrible experience of purging and darkness, because that's what happened to you.
What do you mean by purging?
Ayahuasca is the most potent one out of all of them.
Okay.
I offer mushrooms and cactus to most people who are ready. Ayahuasca is it should only be for very advanced people.
Okay.
It is the greatest tool to take you places in the right hands. It is very strong. It is very potent. It's not something you should play around with. You shouldn't just hear about ayahuasca and go to a retreat with a friend and just do it because you've heard this is a sacred practice. You need to honor it. You need to do research. You need to know everything there is about it. You can't bring any fear into it. And ayahuasca is so potent and beautiful and magical and life-changing when you have the right guidance. It's ayahuasca is this world's greatest teacher. DMT is up there as well, taking 3 strong hits of DMT and going somewhere else. But ayahuasca is just a different level. It does release DMT in your brain as well, though. What's that?
This goes so far back in ancient civilizations. They've all done this. The Mayans, all of the Indians, the Aztecs. Everyone has
the psychedelics and the cactus too. Oh yeah.
What's the cactus? You were saying cactus.
Huachuma, San Pedro cactus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
that guy that we had on that was telling us all about
so beautiful.
Okay, so
I went with a shaman to Bolivia a year and a half, 2 years ago now, and we did we went to the Island of the Sun, the highest, like Lake Titicaca, one of the most spiritual places. Another one of the few places like Sedona, and we did Huachuma, and there's a yellow brick road, and there's an eagle's nest, and he said that we entered the eagle's nest, paid our respect. He started chanting or playing his shruti, and I started dancing. And he told me when I was dancing and I did this swirl, and 2 eagles flew up behind me, like at the same time, and twisted as I twisted. And I was connected with the spirit of the eagles, and I felt them. But he told me this after the ceremony. He's like, I was gonna interrupt you and have you look, but I decided not to. I said, and it was so special and beautiful.
Nice.
And then after that, we drove all the way down to the jungle, and we took a riverboat into the jungle and went deep into the jungle and did ayahuasca as well. It was so fun and amazing. And he taught me some new songs, and it was good.
Yeah. Now, do you like that too, like drumming and the music to get you into these states?
I love everything. I have 8 drums. I have a drum set too. I play every instrument, didgeridoo. I love them all. I just got a looping device. And the plan was to do more music, and I love doing looping music. And I'm going to start doing these. Well, I'm competing for the worlds right now, but after that, I'm going to start doing these meditation tracks with my vocals and chanting. And they're gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to start doing that again and working on more music and song circle type music too. I write to and play my guitar and write as well. But no, I love, yes, drumming and drum circles. There's a good one and they do good ones in Sedona. But going off and dancing, I love it so much. Probably the number one thing I offer in a shamanic ceremony is my dance, especially with the right drumming or the right music going on. And every time just the right song comes on and there's 30 people in a circle, and if it calls, I'm up and I'm dancing, and half the room just starts crying, like beautiful tears of like good tears, not boo-hoo, life is hard tears.
Tears of joy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love it so much, and I feel all the love from them. And dancing is one of the greatest gifts that I offer them. But yeah, I love it so much. And when we're in tune and we're connected and that fear is gone, all of us, we're the most beautiful dancers and drummers. And any of us can go up to a piano and see and feel out chords when that fear is gone and we're really connected. I blew myself away with that. I played the piano a little bit. I had an electric one, and I would make, just some for like I was rapping. When I was rapping, I would do some melodies in the background that were pretty basic. But after I started getting in tune, and after the Kundalini awakening, and I let it all go, I was playing chords. I just go up to a piano and play a chord now, like all the way up. And same with drums. I was never taught how to play a drum, but when you're synced in the fear, you just go for it. It's calculations, like the Kundalini awakening, all these kriyas. I'm making these calculations. I can do that with a drum. We can all do that with everything. Any of us can look at a skyline and copy it, or somebody's face and copy it. All of us have these abilities. We just have to make the calculations.
Yeah. You are a busy man, and you know what? We are at the end of our interview here, sadly. But I think we're going to be hearing your name coming up
more often,
many contexts in the future.
Hope so.
Here. So
I'm ready.
Lots of timbers in the fire, and I do hope that you complete them all. If you get these other books, these little books, and all these things written, please let us know. We'll have to come back on, talk about it. You got things to promote, please let us know. We will help you out and put
as I like to say, unfortunately, darling, welcome to the Fox Den family. Once you're on it, you're now stuck with us.
I appreciate you too. And and thank you for seeking truth with me and helping people and getting the best information to them to help me on this quest of eliminating suffering. And then just, see through it all. None of us have to.
Yeah.
We're all powerful and all capable. All of us see through the lies. They're pretending because they don't know and because they're scared. We have to see through that. We have to put truth above the feelings. We really do. And it's so powerful to do that when it's done right. There's an art. There's an art to this, calling out the darkness and helping people. There's an art to it. We have to learn this art, and we have to step into our power and know that we might get attacked. When we're calling it out and saying you're better than that, you can be better than that. You need to take better care of yourself. You need to put in more effort, and you can do anything of your wildest dreams. We need more pushing like that, and less patting on the back and saying everything's going to be okay when it's not. If they continue that way, it's not. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but we have to put truth above them, and it's an art.
Very true. Very wise words, and thank you so much for being with us. And I do hope to have you on again. And hang with us just for a couple minutes. I'm just going to play an exit video and end this. And everybody that watched, please share the video. Please subscribe. Go to the cite all of Nick's, follow Nick everywhere, but get the book. All right.
Yes.
I'll see you next week. Ciao for now.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D. We are here every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you a variety of guests or our own intuitive oracle card reading shows. We are streaming live on Facebook on my personal page and our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, on Mama D's YouTube channel, Angel Meadows, as well as our audio-only venues. We hope you enjoyed our show and our guest or your reading, and we would love it if you would go to our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, subscribe, share, and definitely hit that notification button to never miss a show. We'll see you all next week, and subscribers, watch for our pop-up shows as well.